Hey, welcome to the HuntLeague Man Cave. Today we're going to do an in-depth pack review on many of today's most popular packs. Okay, our next pack is the newest pack, maybe one that you haven't heard of. This one is called the AKEK, A-K-E-K. I discovered this pack at SHOT Show this year in 2023. Went up to it and I was like, okay, I haven't seen this pack, but everything I'm looking at looks really incredible. So let me take a deeper look into it. Ended up kind of exploring it, putting it on with some weight, and I said, okay, this is the next pack I have got to try. So if you're looking for a new pack, take a look at this AKEK pack. I think there's a lot that you're gonna love about it. Starting off with the price. Price on this, I believe, is about $529. What is really cool about that price tag, though, is it comes with really everything you need. Like, instead of kind of what we talked about with Kifaru, where you're adding this pack and this side belt and everything is a la carte, that's really the way that all the pack companies do it. AKEK, however, sends you the pack. You've got accessory pockets that you can remove, and there's really cool ways that you can set this up, because you can take this lid off. This lid itself has straps similar to the Mystery Ranch, where you can run this as a little bit of a day pack. It's got a water bladder attachment. You can take these little accessory pockets off, attach them to that day pack if you need just a little bit of extra storage. This lid can be attached to the frame directly, so you can actually remove the bag and just carry this lid with maybe 2 accessory packs as a day pack option. So super versatile. Carbon fiber frame, relatively similar. It's kind of like a hybrid between what I see in the Kuiu pack as well as the initial Ascent. Doesn't have the side flares and stuff, but very strong. Similar to Mystery Ranch and Kifaru in terms of like how it attaches up here at the top and how you can remove the bag. You know, it just sits right on top of the carbon fiber. Aggressive, I would say, lumbar pad, but this lumbar pad, as much as it sticks out, it's pretty soft. I was actually thinking, man, this is substantial. And then when I was hiking with it with heavier weight, I realized it sinks in. It's not as firm as the initial Ascent one, but I still really like it. And I was a little bit concerned because it doesn't have any texture here like you see on the Exo packs, the Kifaru pack, you know, to keep it from sliding. So I was a little bit nervous because I don't have a big butt, that this was gonna kind of start sliding down as I went through the day. That did not happen. And I've hiked several pretty significant hills. I've done about an 1,800 foot elevation climb over the course of a little over a mile. So pretty steep incline and decline. And everything performed absolutely flawless. But let's talk about some of the accessory packs that do come with it. So you've got 2 of these accessory pouches here. You've got a rain fly, you've got 2 waist belt pockets, and you've got 2 accessory pouches that you can put on the inside, outside, and attach. It does also come with the crib inside, just a meat shelf. That also came with the pack at that $529 price. That's usually another $50 to $80, even $100 add-on with some of the other pack companies. Oh, I've got one other feature that I'm gonna have to show you that is related to how it carries a weapon, because that's actually a really, really cool thing. It's got lots of attachments. You can carry a bow or rifle, and it does come, another accessory that it does come with. So you've got this system right here where you slide your rifle in between here, and then it comes with the pouch at the bottom that is wide enough to put a cam of a bow in or the buttstock of a rifle in. You can carry it on the side as you're hiking. If you want this to separate, you take this, and for me, I've got it set up on my right side. So I'll grab with my right hand the rifle. With my left hand, I'll reach forward and I pull this hook, which will separate this strap. With my right hand, I just draw, and I can do that with both. I've tested it with both a bow and a rifle. Super cool, super convenient way to not have to carry a sling with a backpack, which is always tricky. The whole system is really integrated well for hunters. So Again, take a look at some of the AKEK YouTube videos. You can check it out on there. Super simple. You just reach, grab the weapon, pull that little loop, and it's gonna, the rifle, the bow is gonna come right out. So in terms of price and value, this one is, it's impossible to beat. This one is the best value in the bunch. So if you're looking for a great value pack, this is it. If you're looking for a pack too that can also haul a lot of weight, this is it. It's a fantastic pack. So in terms of price, number one, fit and finish. It's actually a really nice looking pack. I didn't get it in a camo pattern. I wasn't crazy about how they write like Climax on the side. There was a couple like small little things. I was like, oh, I could probably do without that. But this ranks up there right at the top. I have this kind of right in the middle. It's not my favorite aesthetic looking pack, but it's probably number 2 or number 3. So this is the AKEK Climax 5400. 5400, it's a little bit bigger than the 4800, obviously, with the EXO lineup, which I appreciate just a little bit of extra room on my back country hunts. Great looking pack. Straps. I've talked about how you have Mystery Ranch Kifaru that have the things. It kind of takes 2 hands. You kind of open one while you pull or loosen. The AKEK has an unusual strap system that I'd never seen before. You can actually do it with 1 hand, but it has a locking mechanism kind of right here. I'll get up a little bit closer, where you can flip this, and that's going to allow that to open. And then when you want it locked, you just clamp that shut. So it's got a little clamp that you can operate with 1 hand, which I actually prefer this strap system over the Kifaru. I just feel like it's a little bit easier to use. And once it's locked, I mean, it absolutely does not move, but you can't, kind of the benefit of the Kifaru and Mystery Ranch one is you don't have to do anything to lock it. You can just cinch it down and it pulls through, but then it won't back out. This one, in order to move, you have to unlock it, cinch it, lock it. So there is maybe an extra step, but I also think the simplicity of being able to do this with 1 hand, 1 finger, you know, I can move that, I can pull it back through, I can clamp it. I don't know if I like this one or the other one better, but both are phenomenal. Once it's secured, again, it is rock solid. So in terms of straps, probably my favorite. Suspension. Let's take a look at this. I've talked about how I didn't necessarily like the yoke system tied together. This is similar to the EXO, similar to the Kuiu pack. Really love the way this suspension feels and fits. It's my second favorite suspension. Let's see, next to the Kifaru. That one I felt like just fit perfect for me. It was a great fit. So that is, the suspension was number 2. Organization, access to everything. This was my 3rd favorite pack of all the packs. I think the negative that I had with some of it had to do with the water bottles. Once I've cinched this up, this pocket becomes a little bit more difficult to access or to sink something in. That's one side of it. And the other side is it's not elastic at the top like many of the others. There is an elastic thing that you can tighten at the top. So there is something in there, but it doesn't like stretch like the others. So I have found it difficult, especially to do while on the trail, to reach back and get a water bottle. It's been like sunk in. It's been almost impossible. And the second thing is, it is not as deep as the other packs. So when you're putting a water bottle in, I used one that was a little bit taller, like a metal water bottle, and a lot of it was hanging out. And I had it fall out once on me when I was bending over, just because it's not as deep of a pocket as some of the others. So that's one, I would say, small negative. If I really want to secure something, I could probably run this strap through maybe a part of the lid on the water bottle container itself. So organization, access. I actually love the pockets on this. I really like having a pocket up top where I can stick my keys, flashlight, things like that. It's got a bladder pocket on the back that you can slip in a water bottle, or a water bladder, goes all the way down, and it's in a waterproof, I don't know, shell, so that if something were to puncture that, or if it were to leak, it's not going to get all of your other gear wet, which is a very nice feature. Again, I mentioned I'm a big fan of kind of, you know, the full horseshoe. This has it, you can open it up. It's a little bit of a larger opening than the EXO pack. The EXO has a little bit tighter of a horseshoe. There's pros and cons to both of those. I like that it has one organization pocket on the inside, and then it also has two big kind of sleeve pockets. And these sleeve pockets are good because you can run, if you want to run your water bladder on the inside of this, you can, or you can use these as kind of organization. This inside pocket is similar to the Kuiu pack. I actually like the zip side that the Kuiu pack have on the inside of theirs over this. I feel like having these packages plus this pocket might end up being a little bit redundant for me. I may keep one of these for some small accessories, maybe a kill kit, and keep that attached in the bag. I probably won't use both, and I probably won't keep all of these things attached. One of the things that is really nice though is that they've got a lot of different points on the inside that you can attach, little straps, so you can crisscross if you want to secure stuff on the inside of the pack. You have that option. As far as simplicity, this is a super simple pack to take off. I am not using this pack to like take off and swap packs in and out of, but you've got a couple straps down at the bottom that hold it all in. If you want to take the big pack off and again just secure your lid to the pack, it gives you that option. So it is very versatile. And if you want to run, they have a couple different options. If you want to run it without a lid, there's a way that you can use this strap that you can secure if you're really piling up high. And this will go up and around. You can pull this down, and these, it's got like a little flap that'll end up securing kind of right over the top of the carbon frame, and that'll keep any debris or stuff from going into the bigger pouch, meaning like this big pocket that you would open up if you're trying to top load this backpack when you're running it in full climax mode. So super versatile on that side. Load management. This was my number 3. I thought this one came in tied with the Kuiu and EXO pack. And the Kuiu EXO pack, if you guys have ever run those, they run phenomenal. This pack carried weight every bit as well, if not slightly better, than both the Kuiu and EXO pack. Now I'm running the K3 EXO. I know EXO just came out with the brand new K4. I just haven't got my hands on it yet. So I know this review is coming out kind of right in transition with EXO, but I absolutely love the EXO packs. We'll get there in a minute, but this handles weight like a champ. In terms of balance and rigidity, again, it's very similar, I would say, to the EXO pack and close to the Mystery Ranch. So the EXO and Mystery Ranch on that, when I'm saying rigidity, I'm talking about that sway that you feel, you know, when you're carrying a heavy load that's away from your back and you're rotating and moving. The Kuiu pack had the most swing of any of those packs. This one is very comparable to the EXO and Mystery Ranch, where it keeps it nice and tight up against. Not as tight as the initial Ascent, but still very tight pack. Breathability, number 2 for me. This was the second most breathable pack. You can see why. They have a little bit of a natural arch in the carbon fiber. It's got a natural bend to it. Plus, similar to the initial Ascent, you've got a good little gap. It's not quite as much. The initial Ascent, I mean, has a good gap. This has a close, and then you do have a gap running between the pads. So, you know, your back is breathing, air is flowing between. You can stick your hand easily between your back and the carbon fiber frame. So very breathable. Again, that's number 2. Waist belt. The ease of pulling, clipping, that was super easy. Cool thing about this one, and probably one of the more unique things, is like some backpacks, when you pull them all the way around, you know, maybe you want a little more length where it's gonna come around and wrap your hips a bit more. So if you're looking for some adjustability in your waist belt, this actually has a Velcro system. It would take me a little bit to kind of undo, but it's got a Velcro system where each of these is independent of each other. So if I want to scoot this one a little bit further out and this one a little bit further out, I can get a longer wraparound. If I want to bring them in tighter, so it's actually super adjustable on the length. You know, because you don't want these things touching in the front, but I like where there's padding where it almost wraps around. The other thing that does is a lot of these packs, I have a difficult time reaching even the hip belt pockets because they end up being a little bit further towards the rear. With this, I can rotate these out, pull them out a little bit, and then those hip pockets are actually more towards the front part and much easier to reach than some of the other pockets. These are removable, so if you don't want to carry two, or you want to put a gun holster, or you want to put something else on the side, simple Velcro here, and then there's a Velcro kind of on the inside that you have to separate, and it'll slide right off. So waist belt is number 1 on ease, number 3 on comfort for me. It kind of lands on the comfort side, is a 3 on all of them. So neck, back, lower back, shoulders, everything was kind of like right at number 3. I feel like, you know, I've already mentioned Kifaru and Initial Ascent being ones that I kind of prefer with a really heavy load. And when I really load this one down, I feel like it is a very comfortable pack, but it's not quite as comfortable as that Kifaru and the Initial Ascent with a really heavy load. Is it still phenomenal? Absolutely. So that's the comfort. Shooting. This was tied for me with the Kuiu and EXO packs. When I was shooting my bow, I thought this was phenomenal. I think part of that has to do with how narrow it is on my back, but also how much it can still kind of flex when I pull back. So I thought from a shooting perspective, this may be my favorite. This one, the Kuiu and the EXO packs. So if you're walking in the woods, this pack is phenomenal. You can still wear it and draw your bow. Shot a whole 3D course with this, with about 40 to 50 pounds of a load, and it performed phenomenally. So shooting was great. The crib attachment, very similar to some of the other ones. It does allow you to, the crib does attach up kind of midway. You can see like the buckles that kind of slide through right here through the frame. This is where the crib attachment is, so it is not down low at the bottom like the Kuiu one. It gives you the ability to kind of keep your meat a little bit higher on your back, which is going to obviously aid in comfort and how well it carries. So crib attachment was number 3. I think the EXO crib attachment is my favorite crib attachment. Part of that is because of the breathability. Let's see, the Initial Ascent, the Mystery Ranch, the AKEK, and Kuiu all kind of have a solid body, pretty similar crib package that kind of runs. They have different thicknesses. I like how Kuiu's is a little bit thinner because it allows me the straps to kind of dig into the meat more than just the like the material on the meat shelf. So I kind of prefer Kuiu's how thin it is, but EXO is my favorite in terms of a crib. It gives really good coverage, but it also has lots of room to breathe. So if you look at EXOs online, you can see it has little cutouts all the way up the crib, which I think anybody that's hanging meat in the backcountry knows that, like, one of the things you got to do is you got to let the meat breathe, have access to air, so you're not suffocating the meat in your pack system using the EXO crib. So again, for the crib, this was kind of my 3rd favorite crib. Durability, I have no concerns. It's a super thick, heavy duty fabric. You know, I said that I wasn't monitoring noise. It's not really fair for me to do a noise test with this because it hasn't been broke in the same way that the other packs have. This pack, when I open it, has more noise, but I also feel like some of that is just going to break in with the material. But the material itself is a very stout, durable. You can look at all the stitching. You can go around the pack and there's not loose threads. It is very crisp and clean everywhere you look. You know, I kind of mentioned, you know, the fit, finish, style. Everything on the pack looks really top quality, top notch. I think you're really going to love the design of this pack. So once again, this is the AKEK, the best value. I think if you get your hands on one of these, you're gonna love it. So like for reals, you're gonna love it. Awesome, incredible pack made by AKEK. So a relatively new company that I think you're gonna see a whole lot more from here in the near future. We have made the AKEK pack the official pack of the Western Hunter League inside the HuntLeague app. So if you're watching this, this is a special announcement. You can get the AKEK pack, which is the backpack of choice for the Western Hunt League. We're including that in the prize package. So if you win the Western Hunter, which is basically any hunts that you're logging between Montana and New Mexico and to the west for primarily big game animals. So we're talking elk, we're talking deer, mountain goats, sheep, moose, those type of animals. Those are a part of the Western Hunt League. If you're a big time Western hunter, I want to invite you to come in, join the league, share your story, compete with buddies and friends, download the HuntLeague app. Thank you for sticking with us during this pack review video.